It's Sunday and I'm out in my Honda CRZ for a drive, a chill out. Look at that beautiful sunshine. Cool, blimey, and don't I need beautiful sunshine. I've been freezing this week at work, so I think a nice Sunday chill drive in the sun is exactly what I need. I have been mostly Bardy this week. Yeah, Bardy. It's been a difficult week. It's been a week full of ups and downs when it comes to the things that we've been trying to achieve. My camera's obviously clearly on the piss. That's it, sorry about that, I'm not going to bother starting again. Yeah, so what a week at Dynodaze. It's been, like I say, it's been stressy, but I'm going to say positive. Everything is moving in the right direction. We've done a lot of quality work, as we always have done. Seen some amazing cars. Had a great Saturday yesterday as well, the Rolling Road. Obviously, for those of you guys that already know, we do our Saturdays and we have a great deal of fun doing it. Interesting stuff. For those that don't know, on a Saturday, that's our only real day where we have an opportunity to get customers in to just do power runs on the dyno, and people tend to be using it to again to enjoy their own cars and see what progress they've made, and to see that modifications that they have made to their vehicles are moving the cars in the right direction. There's a great percentage of people using the dyno on a Saturday to diagnose things, and also when people buy a car that's either already modified or it is a performance car. So let's say it's a 180 Leon, or they've bought a PD Leon, or I'm talking Leons because we ran some Leons at the weekend. But let's say you've got a Mitsubishi Colt, you've just bought it, you've got no paperwork with it, it seems to perform well, but you're not sure what the base power figure is that you've already got because somebody's already made some modifications. Well, people are using the dyno to give themselves an idea of where they are at with their project, because when you buy a second-hand car, you know, some of the things that go through your mind is, has it been well looked after? Are the modifications that somebody has made previous to you any good? So if somebody's fitted an exhaust, if someone's fitted an induction kit, and those guys don't know how their car's performing, that's where your £40 dyno runs are really well spent, because it gives you this opportunity to say, hey, my car's performing pretty well. I've looked at data online, I've looked at other vehicles with similar mods. Come on, Corsa, pick a fucking lane. Fucking hell, roundabouts. Yeah, so people are, it's all good, ain't it? It's all good. And when you're having a drive, I'm not going to tell you how old that lady was that was driving that Corsa, but when you're having a drive, you've got to try and stay calm. But yeah, so go back to these cars. These cars are modified, and somebody doesn't necessarily know how their car's performing. So they go on the owners' clubs, and they think, well, okay, say an example of a Mitsubishi Colt or anything. I've got X amount of modifications. These seem to be the best modifications that people go for. Let's see what position my car's in. Some people are buying cars and people claim that they're mapped, and people claim that they're doing well, and people claim figures. The dyno is a snapshot in time of that vehicle at that particular point. And I think it's a great way of ascertaining whether what you've purchased needs some work, whether what you've purchased can be improved on quickly, or whether you've bought a lemon and you're going to have to put some money into it. And I think the dyno gives you that information. It gives you that, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, it's knowledge, isn't it? It's knowledge. It gives you that knowledge. So if I put this Honda CRZ on the dyno and it's supposed to be like, I don't know, 120 brake, 125 brake horsepower, and it makes 127 brake horsepower, well, I know that it's all right. It's a good, and it means I've got this baseline that I can move forward with. If you buy a Skoda Fabia VRS and it's a PD 130, it's supposed to make 130 brake horsepower, and you put it on the dyno and it only makes 100 brake horsepower, then you're like, okay, I need to investigate why I'm 30 brake horsepower down, and then go and attempt to get your 30 brake horsepower back. no amount of mapping a poorly car is going to help. So you would have your Fabia VRS on the rolling road, it makes 100 brake horsepower. You're like, okay, so have I got a boost leak? Have I got an injector problem? Let's go and find out. And I think that's realistically why the dyno is such an important tool, and not just for mapping, because when we start mapping a vehicle, like we map over this week, we've mapped a diesel FN Civic, and it's modified, and it makes 150 brake horsepower, and you think to yourself, well, you know, there or thereabouts, that's not so bad. So we can improve upon that. We know we can if the car's healthy. And then you start tuning and you end up at about 180 brake horsepower. The dyno has shown that the work that we've done has increased that vehicle by 30 brake horsepower, which is fantastic. However, if that dyno came in, if that car came in for a map, and it's supposed to be around 150 brake horsepower, and it starts off with 120 brake horsepower, then you know there's an issue that you've got to go find before you map it. Because yes, you might still gain 30 brake horsepower from mapping that vehicle, and this is the problem with driveway mappers. You might go and make another 30 brake horsepower, but you'd be 30 brake horsepower down still from where it should be, if that makes sense. So the dyno is a great baseline, and you see us use that word a lot at Dynodaze. Baseline. Honda Civic EP3 comes in, makes 200 brake horsepower. Yeah, we're good to go. Let's make some power. And that's what people can do. So whether you've got a Focus ST and you've raced your mate and your mate's mapped and you're not, and yet you're keeping up with him, is your car mapped? Let's go and stick it on the dyno. Let's find out what it's actually putting out. And I think that's why our Saturdays are so great. I think that's why we get to see a lot of different cars, not just the cars that we're used to, but lots of different cars. And everyone's after the same thing, aren't they? They're all after power. Everybody wants to make the most amount of power that they can make. And some people leave disappointed, but they've got that data and that knowledge that they needed to move forward. So that's the Saturdays, and we had some great cars turn up this Saturday, and it's nice. It was a nice refreshing, sort of chilled out sort of day where we had a bit of a laugh and stuff, and it was a stark difference to the week that we'd had at Dynodaze. You know, whilst the actual physical work of working on cars, tuning cars, making cars better, you know, the more time, the more effort you put in, the more results, and the better a business is. But when it comes to things in the background that sometimes people don't think about, things that you need to progress your business, whether that be paperwork in the background, solicitors, you know, all these sorts of things that go on in the background. Even when you're just looking at your electricity bill and you think to yourself, our electricity bill is rising and rising and rising, and it is the same across the board, whether you own a 1-bedroom bungalow or a 10-story mansion, whether you've got masses and masses of units, or whether you've got one small shed to work from. You know, your existing costs, they're rising, and they're the kind of things that in the background, whilst we're doing awesome work, those things matter as well. And sometimes you've got to give yourself a little bit of brain space, a little bit of breathing room to crunch some numbers and know what's going on. When we came back after the Christmas break, virtually every supplier, and I'm talking about things like Powerflex bushes, BC coilovers, I'm talking about fuel, anything that is a daily basis. So if K&N induction kits put their prices up by 7%, as a business you want to try and hold on to your prices for as long as possible, so that people know that they're getting a good deal, because the prices are rising everywhere. But eventually you've got to put those prices up, and you've got to keep your eye on it. And yeah, I think things are getting more expensive, and I think I don't think they're difficult, but I think we've got to keep our eye on it. even when it comes to fueling our own vehicles, you've got to keep your eye on it. You've got to try and keep your costs down. And I think generally with Dynodaze as a business, or what I'm doing, I tend to find that everything's very, very positive about what we do. Very, very positive about what we do. But there is this part of business that anyone's in, whether you're making cakes for a living, putting up fences, or mapping cars, it's all the same. There's stuff that goes on in the background that isn't on. For example, it's just not on YouTube. You don't see you don't see people on YouTube generally talking about the negative aspects or the stressful aspects of running a business, or the hardships of trying to achieve your goals and dreams. And I think this week I have been pulling my hair out trying to make things happen, and I'm going to enjoy this drive out today, because my brain, I'm talking to you guys, but my brain is in a different mode. It's in a mode where I can just relax and chill out. And honestly, one of the reasons why I love this car is because it has this chilled out mode, this effect on me, where I can drive and I'm quite happily trying to achieve my best miles per gallon. I'm not flat out dropping bombs, loading torpedoes in my FN2. I'm not worried about how much fuel I'm using. I'm literally just listening to a bit of the Elder Scrolls soundtrack and chilling out. And whilst I've got later on, I've got some bits and bobs to do, including paperwork and some YouTube editing and stuff. Yeah, Sundays are great, aren't they? I hope you guys are doing something good this Sunday. I hope you're chilling out. I know my friend Philip Barnes is busily in the background setting up a YouTube channel for his own car, which we think is going to be great. He's a great character. That's a great car, Phil. So I think you're going to do really, really well. The best advice for picking up sponsors is to follow certain people on YouTube, like Cowbugger Car Diaries, like Type R Tweets, Expression Culture, and Dazar, because these are great YouTube channels that are well deserving of sponsorship and well deserving of success. And me and Rich are going to continue to try doing our YouTube stuff as best as we can. Richard's laid out the law of how we're going to do things in the workshop with our YouTube videos, and we've got some amazing content coming up. In fact, I know where Richard is right this second, and I know that what he's doing, you guys are going to absolutely love. So when all of that comes to fruition, you're going to really, really enjoy that. So fingers crossed, that's some great YouTube content coming up that you're going to really appreciate, because I know I'm extremely excited for it. I've got loads of news to give you next week, loads, and I can't wait to get it off my chest. I'm fizzing for it, and I just literally cannot wait to tell you. Let me get up to this. Oh, there we go. But yeah, that's my week. And like I say, I've been mardy this week. I've been a little bit stressed, but it's all stuff in the background, and I think that's why I have to try and remember that the actual work that we're doing is brilliant. It's all positivity. Everything that we do, we give our best, and it's the things in the background that make all of that happen that you have to keep an eye on sometimes. So I'm really looking forward to talking to you all about that. But in the comments below, do let me know what you're doing today. Do let me know if you're working on your own cars. If you're new to this channel, let me know. If you're new to this video that we're doing, where I go for a drive and I digest my week, let me know. And tell us what you want to see on the YouTube channel coming up. If you do get a chance and you fancy it, you can always actually become a member of the Dynodaze YouTube channel. That'll cost you £2.99 a month. You get little badges and stuff, and you get some kudos and some respect. We also get £2.99 off whatever you buy all month anyway. So technically it's free, because you're going to buy something from Dynodaze and I'm going to give you your money back. But But do go and check it out because it's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying seeing the membership, and we're doing some things on YouTube that are members only, and we're archiving some past videos that only members are going to be able to see. So check it out, you might like it, let me know. And you don't have to stay subscribed for 12 months, you can just pop in and pop out whenever you want. And on that happy note of popping out, I am going to go and have a drive. I'm going to enjoy it. The sun's out, so I might even listen to some Prodigy in a bit. But yeah, stay safe, peace out. See you on a live chat tomorrow morning, which will be Monday about 8 AM. And yeah, enjoy our YouTube content, and thanks for your support. And I'll see you very soon.
Boy, and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast.